What is up, guys? Pixie here, bringing you a PvT on the Shattered Temple. Of course, if you've been watching this series so far, this is between EGPuma and LiquidHerO. Puma here at this 8 o'clock position, and LiquidHerO, the Protoss player, over here at the 4 o'clock. Both very strong Korean players who are playing for their respective foreign teams. Quite interesting at that, as they're both playing for American teams, of course EG and Team Liquid being these American teams, whilst both being Korean. Not really by choice, of course. Of course, this is the Game 3 of the series they're playing in, tying it up 1-1, as Puma did take Game 1 with a very, very interesting play on dual site, and of course, Hero tying that up. Last game, I'm trying to recall which map it was, which was Antigua Shipyard with that amazing blink play that we saw, of course, if you just came from watching it. To be honest, I just came from casting it, so I should know these things off the top of my head. But of course I don't, because I'm a very forgetful caster. Of course, these players are both fantastically strong, and we've seen amazing play from both. I mean, we did see them at DreamHack, of course. Very, very strong play from both. Very, very innovative. And of course, Hero being one of the strongest Protosses there are out there right now. Looks like Hero just trying to be annoying, trying to block that barracks going down. Puma being just annoyed and actually just giving up and putting the barracks down right here, figuring, you know what, I don't need the wall off just yet. Hero playing, of course, very standard, no cannon rush, as we did see actually a cannon rush between, I believe it was MC and Huck. This was for MLG Orlando, I believe. This was a PvP, which is sort of rare to see, as Protoss has sort of been one of the more weaker races. I mean, I do play Protoss, so I might have a biased view in that. Looks like the refinery is going down during the barracks. Very indicative of a fast factory play. Probe still being quite annoying. I would not be surprised to see getting a reactor on there, followed by the factory, to get those double Hellions to be just quite annoying. Now, this is a play that you more commonly see versus Zerg, of course, and basically every PvZ I've casted so far has had some sort of play like this, especially in the Korean ones. I mean, MVP versus Lysira, MVP's a great fan of this. I'm pretty sure MMA is too. In the Protoss space, we do see the gas going down. This is Everno's core. All very standard. Getting the Zealot out. This is completely standard play. As I was saying, this Hellion build is very, very good, though. Getting the reactor. I must be a wizard of StarCraft, and I'm assuming that as soon as this Terran gets 100 gas, we will be seeing the factory go down. Looks like he is just scouting to make sure no shenanigans are up. Unless he does not know. I believe that most NASL maps are always cross positions. Or two-player. Looks like the probe did get taken out. Like I was saying, Antigua Shipyard MLG, or NASL rather, is always going to be cross positions. I believe most maps are like that, just to give a good macro game, of course. Being close by air means that drops are going to be very, very potent. Being cross basically means that you have a good run for everything. Commands that are actually going down, so I was completely wrong on that. Unless there is a factory constructing rather. No, there is not. He has just taken all his guys off gas and has figured, hey, you know what? Hero scouted that. He's going to be preparing for some Hellions. I'm just going to expand. He's going to be completely on the defensive. He's not going to be able to be offensive and stuff. It looks like this SCV is going to hide. It's quite interesting, the lines of sight. I mean, I'm wondering how large this area must be if a stalker can't see across as like a grassy field. Regardless of that, it looks like Hero is trying to get some scouting information, trying to make sure no shenanigans are up. But the bunker is going down, meaning that he is completely safe. However, I believe this bunker is going to give away a bit of information, saying, Hero is actually just playing a bit passively right now. And while this command center does go up, I'm assuming that the bunker will be salvaged and then placed again on the low ground. Hero's going to run up here, see the bunker, back out immediately. Or not, actually. He's just going to run right up into the main base, because sure, why not? And then he's just going to run right back down again, because, I mean, hell, why not? Bringing over 3 SCVs just to repair up the wall. Just like a little robots that must make sure everything's perfect. Getting that guy back in gas again. Not really sure what Hero accomplished here. I mean, he got some scouting information. Maybe that was just a misclick. But did he see the expand? Let us see. This is Puma. No, he did not see the expand. I always make a bad habit of clicking the wrong person. I really should just click here, but I will not. In the Protoss base, we do see the expand is going down, so they will be even on bases, although he does not know the command center is morphing. However, the 2 Raxes are going down, which is sort of indicative of pressure. I know as a Protoss, I would throw down 2 more gates and then just go all out. Looks like salvaging the bunker, and I'll be surprised to see the bunker rebuilt right here. As a Protoss, I like to throw down a couple more gates and then just go all out aggressive. So if I'm on 4 gates and I want to be aggressive, I'll throw down 2 more, and I'll be very, very throw a lot of money into my army as opposed to my economy. And it's somewhat of an I'm not going to call it an excuse me, I'm not going to call it an all-in, but it's just somewhat a more aggressive strategy. Getting the Tech Lab, probably for the Stim or the Combat Shields. We are seeing a lot of Marines, though, so we'll not be surprised to see the Combat Shields coming first. Getting the second Tech Lab, more than likely for the... Whoa, careful, Stalkers. More than likely for the Marauders, which are going to be very, very strong against most of the Protoss army. Keeping an SCV here for the scouting information as well. Looks like a push coming. No, actually, I was wrong. Looks like the command center will be floated over, and the Terran will be pushing out to get these Stalkers out of here. This should be somewhat indicative of the command center landing here. Does Hero see the command center? No, he does not. But I'm assuming that he does know. As he does, when he sees the bunker go down here, he will totally realize that, hey, he's definitely expanding, and he will realize that when no aggression comes, he realizes, well, you know, I was here, the Terran needed to force me out for some reason. Obviously, that's going to be an expand. Hero does have his natural already completely, not completely saturated, but on its way to being saturated, about halfway there. So Stalkers are going to come in, see the bunker, and be like, yep, I totally realized it. Of course, the Observer's in there too, so kind of that extra little thing. Excuse me. These guys would be exciting me so much, I just got to take a drink. Proxy Paladin going over here. Interesting location for a Proxy Paladin. I mean, it's not close enough to really be... well, it's not like, obviously, it's not right here, which is just really effective. Effective in the sense that you could just reinforce really quickly if you're going to be in a battle. But it's not too, it's sort of in an area where Puma probably won't scout, and this is going to be very, very helpful for Hero later in the game. It looks like he is getting that Immortal out to sort of link up with these Stalkers. This Immortal will be good in the early game versus some Marauders. Now, as the game goes later on and the Marine count gets higher and higher, Immortals don't become exactly good, but of course, I always picture Immortals as if they're giant walking cannons, taking out that Observer could be denying all that vision for Hero. I always picture Immortals as giant walking cannons, which, to be fair, they actually are, because they're just like hammers, and they will just knock anything in front of them down. And what you really need is just tiny little things to chip away at them until they fall away into nothing. I mean, hammer versus hammer, it's nothing's gonna really come out of that. Looks like he's moving the Proxy Paladin all the way up here. He is just gearing up for some really hardcore aggression, just out of Puma's line of sight, of course. Puma's micro, absolutely insane. Looks like, man, to be honest with you, if I was in Hero's spot, I would be very, very careful, because this does seem like a lot of Marauders, even pulling SCVs up to tank the damage. Looks like a big push. Will he snipe these SCVs? Looks like he will. Actually coming around to sort of give like a meat shield. I'm not sure if the SCVs are happy about that, but it looks like giving some sort of meat shield with the repairs, tanking damage with that one Zealot, moving them in. He's going to have to pull them out, and EMP barely actually taking out a whole bunch of Marauders. Looks like a big push coming right now. Oh man, I don't think Hero's going to have enough to defend this. Looks like, no, he definitely overcommitted here. The Marauders were too much. He did not expect Puma to have that many Marines chasing after them, higher to their minds than Stimpak's. Going to be calming down after a little bit. They need one more hit of heroin. Taking out that last Immortal. Absolutely huge. A push coming in. Hero not looking at his Stalkers. He might lose one, but he's going to be very careful. He's so brazen with his micro, realizing that, hey, these Stalkers cannot range the Marines, so if I micro them a little bit, I can do a bit of damage. But Hero does have a substantial amount back home, but he's going to need a lot more to deal with these many Marines. Are they do these guys have enough for EMPs? No, they don't. But they do have enough for snipes, which would be good against the Zealots. Of course, the EMPs are what you really want against these Immortals. Looks like he is going to be pulling back, realizing, you know what, with this amount of Zealots, I need to be careful with the micro and with the Colossus range. Sorry, excuse me, the Mortal range upgrades, rather. Here they are, being their cannons. With the Immortal range, just setting this Marine to check if he is expanded here. With the Immortal range, let me just finish my thought, damn it. They are going to be very, very strong, as microing mech's going to be difficult. Looks like he is going to be taking his gold base as Hero lines up to take his third base. Very, very interesting play. 12-minute thirds from both players, knowing that they're both strong enough to hold each other off. If I could take a third at 12 minutes safely into every game, I would be very, very happy with myself. Looks like he is going to run over here. But Factory is going to be brought over just to tank some hits. Think of it somewhat like a point defense drone in the fact that, does he have enough for EMPs? Does the Ghost have enough for EMPs? Yes, he does, which is going to be very, very dangerous. So Hero, Puma needs to be very careful. No, Hero needs to be careful. I was right the first time. Regardless of who is right or wrong, this is basically going to act like a point defense drone that could be thrown down from a Raven. It's basically going to do two things. It's going to get scouting information. It's going to sort of fly ahead and see what's up. And it's going to pull damage from the Stalkers if Hero isn't microing correctly. Now, an EMP would be very powerful here, but I don't think he's going to waste it. I think he's going to wait till he sees a lot of Immortals, even spacing these guys out, so an EMP won't be able to hit them all. Throwing down cannons, too. It looks like Hero is going to getting kind of uneasy about this. Throwing in the Ghost first, so the EMPs will go down. Looks like the Stalkers are pushed up in front. 2 shots, but it looks like there will be okay for now. A big push coming in. Look, the Stalkers are just drawn right to it, still attacking this and not attacking the main army, but Hero knows what's up. He's going to have to snipe the Ghost, getting one EMP off, only the one though, as the other one does whiff. He will have to get another EMP off. Will he get it off? This will be a perfect time for the EMP, as it will take everything off. The EMP does go down, and huge force fields go down, but will it be enough, as the Zealots are getting chopped up bit by bit? Looks like another round of Zealots are warped in, but I don't think it'll be enough. It looks like Puma just has too much, and there's the GG from LiquidHerO. Fantastic game. Looks like Hero was just a little bit too aggressive and he just overcommitted too much, and Puma just jumped off that. And the fact that he lost so little, Hero was building out of such a little army. He had a big army, lost it, and had to build back up. Puma didn't lose a thing, well, besides a couple Marines here and there, and basically just roll him over with very, very little opposition. It's a fantastic game, and now it is 2-1. I mean, Puma is leading. This is a best of 5, and it could get pushed all the way to a best of 7 if they tie it up, of course. But it's very interesting to see what type of play this is. Now, I believe in a best of 5, you only have to get the 3 wins. But if Hero ties it up at 2-2, I mean, I'm not really sure of how the math works, to be honest with you. I'm sure the math is very simple, and I'm just terrible at math. But I will be casting the next games, and we will see how the series goes.